I'm Karen. I'm the assistant principal at the Academy of San Francisco.
Hi, my name is Shanice Patterson. I'm the community health outreach worker at Academy.
Hi, my name is River Sa. I teach biology and art.
Hi, my name is Isaac Padraganda. I teach special ed.
Hi, my name is Nancy Alvarez. I'm a para my first year, and I'm also an alum of the Academy.
Hi, I'm Greg Markwith. I'm the principal at the Academy SF.
All right, so thank you all for coming here. Today we're going to talk about the work that we've been doing as the Academy SF regarding strengthening staff solidarity. And we're going to share with you a proposal to build trust, communication, and cohesion among our diverse staff to support our diverse student body. So we've already gone through introductions. We have two members of our team who weren't able to make it tonight, Benji and Claire, who have been helping to support this process. For many of you who know about the school, we started in 2005, and since then we've gone through a lot of changes and became autonomous 5 years ago. Currently, we have 50% of our staff who've been teaching with us at the Academy for less than 18 months, and 25% of our staff who have 5 or more years experience at the Academy and a diverse number of years experience in education. And we have a committed, diverse mix of staff and the optimal conditions to spend specific time building the communication and community of our school staff. We know we need to collaborate well to serve our students and have tough conversations, and we need support to build our adult community.
Throughout this work, we will be exploring our guiding question: how might we invite our community to share themselves, their identities, feelings, and views, to create opportunities for clear discourse and empathy? Our purpose in this work is to develop a trusting, collaborative, cohesive adult environment so that our community can best serve our students. Through this design process, we have reached out to our community in a variety of ways, including surveys, one-on-one interviews, small group observations, and a full staff feedback appeal. Some key insights that we have identified: some cohesion to build off of is a lack of empathy and trust between staff and a lack of direct communication. Throughout this work, we aim to create a trusting, collaborative, cohesive adult community in order to best serve our students.
Hi. This is my first year at Academy, and when we started the year, I realized that there was a very interesting opportunity before us. We had a ton of awesome staff that were working really hard on serving our students, building really close relationships to serve each and every student, but we were all kind of in our own little islands. And so why is ours one of the few presentations that's focusing on developing our staff? It is because we want to take this opportunity to create a permanent structure that evolves with the growing needs of the student population of San Francisco, and it provides a great way for us to share our findings and our results through constant feedback with the rest of San Francisco and all the other schools facing those issues. Here is our 4-part plan. You can find it, the reviewers can find it in here, the green sheet, and if anyone wants some from the audience, if you don't mind passing that around. First, we want to make sure that we're actually fostering a sense of belonging, that teachers working super hard with our students are not isolated. They're not in their rooms, heads down, constantly working. So we want to create many opportunities to strengthen staff communication. We're going to get lots of voices, including from students in small groups, and we want to celebrate staff contributions and strengths year to year. So our first feature is morale systems, developing really a sense of belonging. We help our students and support them so much, we have to do it for each other too, because we have all these great relationships, but we can do so much for them together. And so we definitely will have a pre and post intervention questionnaire to check and make sure we're still addressing the same issues in our community.
Thank you, Mr. Sa. And our second design feature is to strengthen staff communication. This is going to be done through SFSES, and we identify SFSES because they are a leader in training staff and other leaders using an equity-centered approach to community building. We have already made some outreach to Greg Peters, who is the head of the organization, and there is a full proposal within your folders. It's in orange, and we will be measuring our success in staff interactions through staff weekly feedbacks and PDSA cycles, resulting in our design feature number 3, which is to build up improvements in small groups. So providing work for our for staff to develop a 2 or 3 year plan for small group work that would evolve into a whole staff collaboration. And we will continue to do this through PDSA cycles as a platform to create and implement action plans that are driven by student feedback, and we will continue to use student feedback as a measure of success and to ensure that we are directing our improvements in a way that honor their input and identified needs.
Another important feature of this 4-pronged plan is how we celebrate staff achievements. We will publicly honor staff contributions at semi-annual award dinners together as staff. It is important that we have a chance to dine together to celebrate one another. We also plan to create an inclusive space where we will continue to add to the Academy's story. This will include a display of staff and student honors. We will measure growth in this feature through staff surveys modeled after SEL surveys. Staff will report higher rates of feeling valued and connected. We have set clear short-term and long-term goals to help us track our progress. This includes qualitative and quantitative measures with a more detailed outline in your slide deck.
We've also been developing different interventions and potential things that we can do to account for obstacles to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. I don't want to read all of this text for you, but I would say the first 3 can be summarized as, are we listening to everybody? Are we listening to students? Are we listening to staff? Are we listening to people who aren't necessarily in the classrooms? And I want to direct your attention to the last particular concern. Our population is always changing, and we have no idea who we're going to teach in the next 10 to 15 years. So we want long-term regular staff surveys for both staff and students to ensure that our solution and our goal is still meeting the needs of the community.
All right. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our phase-in plan first, testing and iteration. So throughout this process, we'll be testing each design feature to ensure that each is implemented in a manner that supports the development of trust, communication, and cohesion of our staff that I mentioned before. We will be taking staff input throughout this process to ensure continued buy-in and address additional supports as needed. And a little bit about our implementation plan. We will start with phase 1 in spring 2018, the continuation of a fostering of belonging, and then we'll move into phases 2 in spring 2018 into the year after that. We know that this plan is going to contain bumps in the road, and we have a clear measured plan so that we're not starting to overwhelm our whole staff with everything happening all at once. We'll be leading into spring 2019 where we would be at full implementation with a focus on a 3-year continuation of this work to really systematize the structures that we are trying to put into place with the small group changes and the continuations of staff celebrations.
Hello again. Now here's the money part. So these are the things that we're asking for. The different features you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and the corresponding resources and the cost. The big ask, of course, is the second feature, which is funding to fund our SFSS partnership, which we would start hopefully sooner than later. The other big ask is, this is a team that we want to keep together from year to year. And so the ask is for extended hours for this innovation team, along with 2 other folks that could not make it today, to continue to work together and implement the plan and change as not only our staff changes and as our student body changes. That is a detailed partnership of the detailed budget of the SFSS partnership that you can find again in your green folders. We can go quickly through that. Yeah. And the total ask again is $54,000. And the in-kind request is not only last year but this year. We feel like we had a very, very rewarding experience with the iLab facilitators. So we're hoping to have that similar support from the iLab to continue to facilitate those meetings and facilitate the team. As we mentioned before, we have I believe to be probably the most diverse student body in all of high schools in San Francisco, and we've worked to make our staff diverse and our teaching and our support staff diverse. And what we found is that has allowed us the opportunity to really come together from different corners of San Francisco and the community, and that's going to take some time and some work to be able to communicate and have direct dialogue and work towards the things that we want to make better at our school, and that's serving our most vulnerable students and the students that have experienced trauma, and have those hard conversations that are going to get them over the edge and make them feel more connected and feel like they're receiving a quality experience at the Academy SF. The end.